Not good enough. That's what happened.
The absence of Jonathan Brown meant you had to go with a different forward setup today. It looked like it was working well for a while. Aaron Cornelius taking a couple of grabs. Were you happy with that? Could you see something there going forward?
Off parts, Ace, presented nicely. But much the same story, isn't it? You still got to be able to go for the whole game. So, and we're not doing that. So, the courage to keep running when you're tired is not something that is good enough for us at the moment. So, I could talk about individuals and talk about sort of some of the niceties of having some of the younger players, if you want to call it, coming through, but no, not today.
Is that need to go the distance, is that the prime objective for the remaining games this season?
Well, I hope so. I know Simon Black wants to, because you only got to look at the bloke and how he actually plays to actually see that he wants that. So whether we've got enough blokes that can follow Jonathan Brown, and whether he's injured, he hurt himself, but have we got enough blokes that actually want to follow an example of that contest, an example of Simon Black and what he does in a contest where he runs himself into submission? We're going to be good enough to do that. So that's something. Finishing strong is fairly good theme, I would have thought, coming into the last 5 weeks of the season. So
is it a fitness or an attitude problem?
it's not fitness. I don't believe it is. We call it attitude. We've got to find new limits for ourselves. I mean, we're testing ourselves as a group, and we've got some newer type players that are playing roles, but if you stay inside your comfort zone the whole time, then you never actually learn anything about yourself. So, and at the moment, we're staying too much on the comfort zone side, and so we're not learning much about ourselves except what we already know. And at the moment, that's not good enough. So,
Do you use someone like a Black immediately after game as an example of what has to be done?
Oh, absolutely. And I hope they grab his tape, and I hope they watch him, just solely him, nobody else. Because unless you actually want to be able to have that sort of attitude or intent, whatever you want to call it, then that's he's my pin-up boy for the next 5 weeks, I guess. But we've got to have as a group. We absolutely come to the contest, no doubt. But you can't sort of still sit here and say how many shots do we concede? It's like around 40 or something, around that mark. I'm not 100% sure, but that's just too many. If we've got to build ourselves and our team character on some of our defensive acts, well, we're not getting enough of it long enough. And if there's a minimum, that's got to be the minimum. We've made some ground in other areas. We're improving our clearance work, and our contested footy is improving against some very good sides. But, we've still got to be able to sustain that over 4 quarters. And, there's no other way to say it, because I've been saying it for a while.
Does today's performance affect the way that you approach the bye now? Do you train through it, or do you do something different?
No, it's still been a long campaign for us. The boys have, coming up every single week. And, it comes a long campaign back into the season. You need to do physically and mentally recoup. And... but we won't do any additional training because of it. We need to keep them fresh in terms of just the minds and physically. So when we do get to training and we do present in games, that we train at a right quality and right intensity, so to finish off the season.
You talked about a couple of the little individual pluses. Was Reigns on well as one of them? How did you see it?
There was some good contests. I think they were right through the park. There's some good contests, but. I guess enough joining in is the theme. We've had through games, we've had probably a lot of players joining in at times, and then there's been times where we've had 5 or 6, and 5 or 6 been okay, but just not enough joining in often enough and working through if they're playing well or they're not playing well, and that's something that developmentally we've got to make sure that we give a large emphasis to, not just now but going forward as a group. So. We can't afford to be, when it's all going nice, be there, and then when it sort of turns a little bit, we can't hang on. So just at the moment, we're sort of letting the floodgates open late in games.
I know you can't talk about it, but the free kick imbalance today, it seemed like a lot of decisions seemed to go okay. Did you feel like yourself?
Today's not to talk about it, but certainly to say that would be probably giving ourselves an out. Because, as I said, I don't know off the top of my head, I don't know the exact number of scores, but I mean, that's what we conceded. So it's a little bit long. You can focus on that if you wanted to, but you know, there's other matters that come into play here. So no, not giving ourselves that out, and neither should anyone else.
So it's more about letting them have 37 scoring shots.
That's more the point. You might talk about that.